Hello, Legionnaires. Today we are diving into Rise of Magic for Rift's Chaos Earth. The moment the world breaks and sorcery explodes into the streets. If you love the apocalypse with blue light ley lines, kid wizards and busted city blocks, and demon cults kicking in the doors, you're exactly at the right video and where you need to be. Now, before we start, do me a favor, like the stream, hit subscribe, and share this with a buddy who runs Rifts, or more particularly Chaos Earth. It tells the algorithm that niche games and smaller content creators deserve the spotlight. Now, let us dive into Rifts, or Chaos Earth, Rise of Magic. Sorry, I can't see my thingy over there. That's your thingy. I need my thingy. Where's my thingy? That was it. Boom. All right, cool. So what is this book? Rise of Magic is a Chaos Earth source book that zooms in on the earliest days of the Cataclysm and the return of practical magic. Like they're literally, oh crap, this magic thing is real. It exists. It is compatible with Rifts, of course, but framed for ground level survival during the fall. You get tone-setting fiction, random Blue Zone events, new o.c.cs, which we will talk about in the next video, like the Blue Zone Wizard, Chaos Wizard D-Shifter, and a suite of evil magic o.c.cs, plus spell lists and indexes to speed up your play. And we're not going to cover the evil ones. Go figure, the book has more evil or NPC o.c.cs than it has PC o.c.cs, but you'll get both. It's only a 64-page book, but it is dense with information, and that is not the right page. Oh, okay, one page off. All right, so a look back, and I'm not going to read all this. It just gives you, where we are. I actually liked these journal entries, we'll call them.
Oh here. Yeah, no. For Chaos Earth in the original, in the main book and all the source books, the timeline flavor text is immaculate.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about this book, where did I put mine? Oh, the only thing I don't like about this book is I don't like these smaller books. Now, at least it's not a 48-page, after the bomb book. It's a 64-page book. But man, this is for a 64-page book. This was done. It was done well. And I guess, to be fair, what more could they have put in here? Or was it just Kevin? Oh, it's just Kevin. What more could Kevin have put in here? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't complain about that. But that's like the only thing that I came out of this book going, oh, well, that could have been bigger.
Yeah, if your only complaint about his book is you want more of it, it's pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
So Rise of Magic starts with journal entries by Lieutenant General Lindsay Sawyer with frontline NEMA accounts of cities like Atlanta, St. Louis, and Chicago during the first days after the world exploded. And man, that St. Louis event traumatized the crap out of her.
Yeah.
The book spells out that the Cataclysm opens blue zones, roaring mile-wide lanes of crackling energy, where freak storms hit, dimensional tears bloom, and demons and DBs pour through. You Rift players would know them as ley lines, but in here they're called blue zones because they didn't know what they were yet. You'll encounter the third plague, magic, setting up an idea that fear spreads fast, but so do psychic gifts and sorcery, with civilians and youth manifesting power. Chicago holds as a central sanctuary while blue lights cut through the city, portals rip open at junctions, and NEMA fights things that ignore bullets. The journal paints Rifts as literally rips in reality, because that's what's happening. Two-way doors to alien realms. All right, one in front of that. And, oh my God, my hands are burning. Actually, I'm just going to leave it there. I think that picture's funny. What would you do if you just like, ah!
The first burster, kill it with fire. You can't. Damn it.
I am fire. Kill it with fire, and all of a sudden you just, well, that happened. All right. Blue zones aren't just story fluff. They're mechanical engines that alter encounters. On page 16, there's a random blue zone danger. Can you roll me percentile dice, please? That's why I wanted to go to this page.
Sure. 12.
Okay, hold on to you got kind of a boring one. But hold on to that one for just a moment. Just remember it's 12. Okay. Let me get through this first. On page 16, there's a random blue zone dangers and phenomena table. Cascading energy fields that heals normals and shuts down a caster's magic for a few minutes. The dance of the dead where corpses claw up and stagger down the line, and energy drains that throttle, PPE, and more. PPE, what's that? They don't know either, but it's in the game. Now, he rolled a 12%. Let's see what that is real quickly here. cascading energy field. Sparks of white and green energy rain down on a wall that resembles a waterfall of energy. The cascading energy field slowly rolls along the blue zone, and it's fairly easy to avoid, though a short sprint is probably required. If the shower of sparks should strike a practitioner of magic, the character feels all warm and peace. However, he cannot cast a spell or work any type of magic for 1d6 minutes. Psychics are similarly affected. Ordinary people without magic or psionic abilities suffer no ill effects and, in fact, see any injuries healed for 1d6 points of damage. Oh, look at that. It's a little healing aura.
Cool.
Yeah. Where am I here? Simple cold, flu-like illnesses also vanish completely. Running through the shower.
For the common cold. There it is.
Yeah, I finally found it. Bottle that thing up now. Running through the shower of energy does not have multiple magical effects. Duration is noted.
You can't follow it. Yeah.
What's that?
You can't follow it. And
you can't keep bathing in it to try to get more and more and more. Let's see. The cascading energy field usually straddles 90% of the width of the line and runs from one end to the other. It creates its magical effects as it passes, then moves on down the ley line, never settling in one area for any length of time. Okay, like I said, we got the Dance of the Dead, you got Energy Drain, the Fleeing. Look at all this weird. I mean, got 2 pages of stuff here. Vanish, that's always got to be a good one, right? Vanish. No. The individual caught in the visual effects vanishes as if he or she's popped out of existence. I'm not going to read any more of that. You can read it while it's on the screen. I'm going to go back to what we're talking about over here. But you get the idea that ley lines are nuts, but they're already nuts in Rifts. Well, they're nutster here. That's my word. I'm sticking to it. Nutster.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Put that on a t-shirt. I'm going to nutster. Nobody's going to know what it means. Anyway, this is dynamic terrain, story and danger every hour or two. Oh yeah, you roll on this every hour or two. Sometimes faster if the line is agitated by portals or stellar events. Okay, let's move on here. Page 19. There we go. I'll just leave it right there because we don't care about the Servants of Darkness, but I'll still show you them. These are the new o.c.cs that you can find in the book. And we're going to cover the Blue Zone Wizard, Chaos Wizard, and D-Shifter in the next video. But the Blue Zone Wizard is a leyline walker for the apocalypse, the practitioner keyed to the blue zones with limitations. I don't know, man. I was reading through these things, and in the next video, Heathen Dog, I prefer you wait till then. Okay. Please explain to me the differences, because when I was reading these wizards, I was like, these things are pretty dang powerful. Like, all of them are like, I almost feel like they're more powerful than Rift's wizards, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong about that. They just seem, maybe not direct damage, but pretty much if they can think it, they can do it kind of stuff. It's like, it's almost felt like mage magic to some degree.
It is a lot more creative, and you have more tools in your tool belt with your creativity, but the main difference is reliability.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair, because you've got random tables in here. I'll probably talk about this in a moment, but random tables in here be like, oops, that spell didn't cast. You still use the PPE.
Yep.
All right. Where's age? Where was I? With limited special abilities, rules for initial spell knowledge, and access to dimension and leyline magic. Age matters. The book even tracks the age of Blue Zone wizards for who awakens and when. Think of this o.c.c. as a leyline survivalist, the caster who knows where the energy flows and how to ride it. It's an archetype that ties your party to the Blue Zone map, because after a certain range, they can't cast. Well, let me rephrase it. Hold on. They can't cast. It's an interesting, I like the way it's done. We'll talk about that in the next video. The Chaos Wizard, often a kid or a teen, so guess what I think about this one?
Do they have bikes?
What's that?
Do they have bikes?
Probably do. Channels raw power in the ruins. The book explicitly links Chaos Wizards and youth gangs, and then hands you the age modifiers. A child's spell modifier table for under 13 casters, and the optional magical mayhem table that can supercharge or sideslip the effect. Yes, it's weird. The younger you are, kind of the more power you have, but also the more, well, let's use the word again, or the less reliable you are. Yeah. Mechanically, the child's table can blank a spell, have her double it, or even send you to a magical mayhem for a wild side effect that supports the theme. Power without schooling is volatile. Remember, this is before they had any sort of, this is how you do things. One of the things I really like, I'm kind of a little spoiler for the next video, is I love how the leyline walker actually refers itself back to the Blue Zone Wizard here and its dress and attire. It's like a traditional, that they don't even need to do, but it's like a traditional vestment that stems from the Blue Zone Wizard. So I like those kind of callouts. Role picks are immediate: Hater, Helper, Fixer, Protector, Sneak, Warrior, each with tailored starter lists and play identity. This is again for the Chaos Wizard. So drop a comment. Which Chaos Wizard role would you run first? Hater, Helper, Fixer, Protector, Sneak, Warrior, and why? Why would you do that? I mean, something named Hater, really? Really?
Well, you got to remember, it was named by kids between the ages of 9 and 15. So
That's fair.
all right, there's not going to be a lot of nuance involved.
Don't be a hater, bro.
Exactly.
Oh, I just used bro again too. I need to
Yes,
wash
you
my
did.
mouth out. We're not going to go to it. Yeah, we will. 49. Lots of nines here. The D shifter. I got comments about that. The D shifter is a dimensional specialist. Abilities include shift location, blink anywhere on the line or to a known place. Shift phase, becomes semi-intangible, straddling 2 dimensions. Oh, it gets better. Shift through time. Yep. You can witness your own past. Shift to light. Let me make this very clear to you. You become light. Literally reforms himself as light. And quite a few more we'll discuss in the next video. And then we will now move on to the antagonists. Servants of Evil and Darkness. After PC clashes, the book turns the knife with the Servants of Evil and Darkness. It explains rifts as two-way doors and frames supernatural patrons who teach mortals and twist them. In fact, it's pretty clear that most adults who learn magic, I'm stressing that word adults, that learn magic do so through some sort of evil patron. Because it's like, why are these little brats throwing fireballs at me? I want to do that too. You want to throw fireballs, you say? So you get a full villain bench. Chaos Witch. That sounds nice, right?
Sure.
Death Mage. Demon Bringer. Demon Caller. Demon Disciple. Demon Worshipper. Doomsayer. All fantastic names of
great
something.
Names. Yeah. How are you selling people on this? You want to be a chaos witch? Yeah, that sounds kind of evil. Nah,
That's actually the nicest sounding one.
I know. You want to be a demon licker? I'm like, no, man. I don't want to be a demon licker.
4 of them have the name demon in them. The text flags that some can be PCs under a strict game master, but expect friction and consequences. A quick taste. The Chaos Witch makes a pact with an evil supernatural master, becomes an MDC being, gains supernatural physical strength, and starts with a dark spell package like Cloak of Darkness, Death Trance, lovely, Aura of Death, Fly. Is that like Fly the Bug or Fly as I Can Fly? Well, who knows? Tongues and more, plus level-gated boons from the patron. That's a narrative engine for corruption arcs. So once again, tell me in the comments, would your table allow a reformed Death Mage or Demon Caller in the party for a tense redemption arc? Or is that a hard no? All right, so what makes this book awesome? Well, a lot of it. I mean, actually, I thoroughly enjoyed this read. We were talking about this long before this video went on, just on the live stream portion. This book has convinced me I think I like Chaos Earth more than Rifts. But Rise of Magic nails play at the street level. A lot of this is, remember, this is all blindsiding people, and it has definitely a grittier, more street level feel as you've got Nima stomping around trying to figure out what's coming through the gates. You're trying to figure out your powers. People are beating the crap out of you because you have these powers. They're not liking this because did you cause the rifts or not? Or are you just a monstrosity? When we talk about the D-shifter later, we're going to find in the next video, we're going to find out he's not even human anymore. So Blue Zones force movement and risk. The random events add color and push choices. The Chaos Wizard tables keep magic high impact and unpredictable. Do you want that unpredictability in your group? I didn't see anything that was oh my god, you just destroyed your entire party. But what if you need a certain spell at a certain time and all of a sudden, whoop, 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 whoop. What if you only need to do 10 points of damage and all of a sudden you do 100? Oops. You know, The D shifter turns every ley line into a chase map. Villain o.c.c.s give you factions and bosses with clear motives, and the indices and alphabetized spell listings make this reference friendly at your table. You can grab spell names fast and riff encounters. And I will say that while I don't like most of the spell names, they're absolutely thematic.
They are, and the reason it doesn't like them is because they're named by kids. That's it.
I'm not
a fly spell will be, butterfly in the sky. It's gonna be from the lens of a child, so it's going to seem like it's named, I don't know, dumb.
Yeah, they have fart reference jokes.
Yeah,
or spells.
Yeah, that's the way it is. That's what happens when you let kids name things.
And I will say, I have to grudgingly, like, I want to roll my eyes at it, but I can't argue with the thematic nature of it. And in the end, I think that thematic nature is more important than giving it some sort of ephemeral name of some sort, right? Or esoteric name of some sort. So I just personally, I don't like Wesley Crusher. I don't like kids solving crap in the games. In this case, to me, kids should be finding their powers and should be the problem. No, you don't kill the kids. But I struggle with kids on bikes games. I just don't like them. And I didn't when I was a kid either, to be fair. Anyway, now GM Adventure Seeds. You have evacuation. Dance of the Dead sweeps a corridor while Cascading Field silences your casters. Uh-oh. What do you do now? You can't just wish and will those monsters away, and you've got the dead literally coming out of the ground. It's Halloween time, right? In order to affect real people. Remember, lots of real people. This isn't just riffs, where sometimes I think that gets forgotten that most people are just people. You're in that reality where this crap is exploding up everywhere, and Heathen Dog yesterday was a real person, and today he just realized his hands are on fire. Everybody's trying to deal with this stuff. So who does the team carry first? You have youth gang politics. Yeah, Lord of the Flies going on here. A protector crew runs a soup line. A hater ring demands tribute. A demon bringer plays both sides. Crossline pursuit. A cultist teleports. A D-shifter mirrors the effect to follow through a rift spiderweb. A little foreshadowing there. D-shifters can copy spells that they've seen. I'm like, oh, you can do that? I think I can do that too. Now, there's a time limit to it, but D-shifter's really interesting. And then you got kind of a moral gray area. A doomsayer stirs riots near a hospital generator. Do you arrest him or move the patients first? Because what happens if you try to arrest him? Look, I watch a ton of cop videos right now, and when these drunk weirdos start fighting the cops and things go down, and now imagine somebody who's got magic behind him, and a cop gets incinerated, or he puts that generator in jeopardy. What do you do? So who should buy this? If you run Chaos Earth or you want to capture year one energies and rifts, this book is a must-have. If your table craves dangerous, emergent scenes with magic and consequences, it's perfect. This book is full. It's a little tiny book, and it's full of all types of consequences in here. If you prefer clean, tactical grids and airtight predictability, well, it's going to be a rougher ride, but still worth it for the villain toolkits, the line events, and o.c.c flavor. Look, riffs, your general riffs person right now would be like, well, the riffs don't flare up like the way they do in Chaos Earth. But I still think there's some fun tables you could use in here. Be like, what if, what do they call Prometheans or Naruni or whatever the hell lives out there in Phase World, opens a rift from center to Earth? Who said that something that powerful can't have a secondary or tertiary effect? So I like to do, this is something I'm recently been trying to do more of, and hopefully I don't forget, but here's 3-session adventure to get you started with this book. Session 1, evacuate the blue line. You're set. I didn't do this in hook, line, sinker format. I apologize. I was going to rewrite it in that, and then I just didn't because I was reading the book more. So the setup is a blue zone, not a zoo blown, a blue zone flares. Alert sirens. You got alert sirens. What happens when people hear these alert sirens? You're living in 1983 when we thought nuclear war was going to happen. That's right. Hide under your desk, duck and cover. that alert siren goes. How are people going to react? They panic. Now you have to deal with that. You have howling wind. Why? Because the blue zones change the environment around you. You have hypnotic lights and civilians panicking. There's your setup. Objective, you have to escort a convoy to safe ground. Maybe not even a NEMA convoy. Maybe just a convoy of refugees from New York City. Or somebody who's like, let's bring some food in because they're still trying to figure out how to feed 3 to 6 million people. You know, you gotta escort them in. A turning point. A kid chaos wizard panics. His spell jumps to magical mayhem and endangers a friend. What are you spotlighting here? You're spotlighting the blue zone phenomena. A child spells modifier and magical mayhem. Now, success, the convoy reaches cover, but the kid's power draws attention. You have an ever-growing arc. Failure, casualties mount, and a cult marks the party as meddling do-gooders or solves the problem for you, and you now just turned an evil cult into well, there might not be so bad. Remember how normies think, especially when the end of the world is happening. All right, session 2, the junction hunt. So clues point to a demon caller moving between blue zone junctions. Your objective is to track and tail him without spooking the cult. Your D-shifter mirrors, this is kind of what you're highlighting. You're highlighting the D-shifter in this one, right? Your D-shifter mirror jumps with the shift location to keep pace. Complication, though, each junction risks a fresh event. Why? Because you're activating that zone. Remember, these rifts aren't, these rifts aren't stable. These are as unstable as Earth has ever been or ever will be. So when you activate them, weird crap happens. Energy drain, dead rising, micro rift. We've seen some of those before. We can go back to that list, but you get that percentile dice roll that we did earlier. Success is you tag the cult's meeting site and learn the patron's next move. Like, who is the real demon here? Because remember, NEMA is fighting demons. Okay. Failure, the caller slips away, leaving a summoned brute to cover his retreat. Now you just got to fight whoever this demon is with no knowledge of what it can do and what it can't do. And then finally, the witch's bargain. So a chaos witch offers blessings to starving refugees. Real power, terrible price. Now I wrote them below because I didn't want to, but here's some ideas of how the witch blesses people. Shadow safe camps. Witch shrouds the refugees' shanty in cloak of darkness, letting guards and scouts move unseen while raiders and monsters hesitate at the edge of blackness. Fear is a weapon. The witch radiates aura of death so enemies quail and the crowd feels protected, mistaking terror for safety. Miracle transit. Need medicine or a generator part? The witch flies couriers over wreckage or uses metamorphosis animal to scout and carry light loads. I've got more on there, but you get the idea. This is how you can, how does a witch make people feel safe? Because she's doing the negative effects out, but inside is all hunky-dory. Remember, these aren't necessarily stupid people. So your objective is to break the hold without triggering a riot. People inside the protective area, just like we talk about with the coalition as the good guys, people don't want that security ruined. So what happens if you have 100, 200, 500 people that are being protected by this cult leader and you try to take her down? You're going to have 100, 200, 500 people against you. Are civilian casualties worth it? Let's see. You can accept short-term aid that warps the crowd or expose the pack and fight. Climax. Debate and reveal. Surgical strike on the witch or cut off ley line energy feeding her right. Again, subtlety in this one is probably the better way to go, but you could always attack her directly. And success, refugees turn on the cult, realizing that they've been duped, and the witch escapes. Come on, you got to have a good escape there. Swearing revenge on you at some time in the future, or you take her out. Failure, the crowd becomes the witch's shield, and the city pays for your hesitation, and she gets away, never to be seen again until the dungeon or game master decides it is time to do so. And she's going to be much more powerful and much more angry at you at that point. So there you go. That's everything else I have written on here. Oh, nope, sorry. Yeah, these are all the notes that I wanted about the witch. If you really care about more, I wrote a ton of more notes about the witch, but I don't think we need to go into that at this point. So if that sounds like your table, grab Rise of Magic and yeah, light the fuse, light the ley lines, baby, and see what happens. So if this tour fired up your prep, like the video, subscribe, and share with a GM who loves Rifts or Chaos Earth or both. It keeps the channel introducing more non-Dungeons and Dragons gems to the hobby. In the next video, we will dive into the 3-player character o.c.cs. But before we do that, let us hit up some super chats. Or
chats
comments.
Anyway. Beat Magnet says, Rise of Magic sets a high bar for what expansion and or source books could be. It does. Yes, it is. There are very few times where I would say a source book is once it exists is necessary to properly play the game. This comes as close as any. And we have Beat Magnet
and what's sad is it's the first one that I've covered.
Yeah.
And if everything else is a lower bar from here,
it's going to be sad.
Yeah.
Beat Magnet comes back in. All the possible villainous classes in this book are quite useful tools for any GM. Yes, all of them are just made for at least a lieutenant level bad guy in your campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Great. They're all great. And that's what we got.
Yeah, I can't agree more with what he said. You guys, a lot of you out there know my thought. You know, I'm not a Rifts guy, although, you know, you've been slowly converting me over time. Usually when I read a Rifts book, I go into it like, okay, I'll take a look at it. And I come out pretty positive. I mean, there was something that okay, that was actually like Dinosaur Swamp. I'm like, that's actually pretty good. But this had me wanting more. In fact, Heathen Dog and I were late starting the stream because
we were talking about it.
we were talking about how this presented the world. Just in 64 pages, this has presented a world better to me than everything I've read in Rifts. Now, and that again, that's not a knock on Rifts necessarily, but I can visualize the Rise of Magic. I can understand the Rise of Magic, where Rifts, I still have questions about why things work certain ways that they do. Not rules, more lore and society. So I loved it. I'm probably going to, because remember, right now, the Palladium Christmas package, actually, let me do this for you guys. Boom, there's the Palladium bookstore up in that QR code up there. Check it out. The Christmas packages are on sale right now as we stream this. I'm probably going to get Chaos Earth once I'm unfurloughed and I start getting a paycheck again. So hopefully I go back to work before the Christmas packages are over. But I think Chaos Earth is going to be the next thing I pick up. And I might actually devour that, because this right here has me, the word I was thinking before I started the stream, longing. That was the word I used, longing for more. Like, what the hell? I want to know more about what the heck. The way that the 3 PC classes were presented in terms of how they and we'll cover this in the next video, how they are the nascent, the proto classes of what they'll become was just absolutely fantastic. And then, again, Lieutenant General Sawyer and so forth was just well done. Even the kind of cliche story about the kid discovering her powers, or his powers, I guess, and then later hers, his powers, the story was cliche. We'd all heard it before, but it's still very well done and absolutely invoked imagery for me. So, loved it. So with that, oh, you got it, sorry. Yeah, please like, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to talking to everybody in the next video. I got to make this waste 20 seconds though. So pick up Rise of Magic through the QR code there. Leave us a comment. I mean, do you agree? Was I wrong? Like, nah, this book was horrible. Tell me why. And with that, see you next time.